Ow, ow, ow! Saving the innocent from corporate radio. This is the show where Ohio throws down. Ohio is on fire. I'm your host, Daniel Diesel. We are live once again. I'm getting waved at by my lovely friends out there and here in Radio Land, Dayton, Ohio. I love you. We are live here at WWSU 106.9 FM, Dayton's right choice. Once again, I'm Daniel Diesel. We got a great show for you tonight. I got some things to go off my chest. I'm going to play some local music. Tonight, I know most weeks I do like a combination of top 120 Ohio songs countdown. It's the best songs ever in Ohio from the last 40 or 50 years. And I do like part of that, and then the other part I do local music. Tonight, I'm experimenting. I feel like doing some experimenting. I'm doing all local music tonight. It's the Them Weekly Showcase, the whole show, 12 songs that are from local artists that's been recently released. And they're doing well in the Reverend Nation charts. So, and then also they're acceptable for college-owned radio, because some of these highly ranked songs are kind of too naughty for radio. So I got to do what I can make do with. So that's tonight. But also I got an exclusive interview with a group. They are known as the Black Box Improv of Dayton, Ohio. They do a show most weekends in downtown Dayton, Ohio. They are a comedy group. They do a variety of things. They do funny stuff. They make you laugh. They make you cry. But a lot of these are seasoned actors, and I guess they're trying to make it big one day, or maybe they're just happy being in Dayton, Ohio. So with that, they're going to be here tonight. And I tell you, several members are going to be here. We got Justin Howard. Then we got Mike Kazarnecki. I hope I said it right. Mike Zarnecki. There you go. Andrea Fanicorn. And then we got Eric Spencer. So 4 members from the group is going to be here tonight. And we'll interview, and we'll have a fun activity. And we'll take questions as long as it's appropriate. But listen, I am here for you for the next 2+ hours. And if you have a request, or if you have a question for me or my tonight's guest, call me at 937-775-5555. So the interview's coming up close to the 9 o'clock hour. But right now I got something to talk about. A restaurant that I really enjoy, and it's me personally, and no, I'm not being paid by these people, so calm down, Wright State. But I'm getting, I'm really into the restaurant Roosters. I really love their chicken. I go there once a week. I just got waved at again. Oh, hey baby, oh. That was my Beavis and Butthead. Anyway, I don't know if it was any good or not, but anyway, I like Roosters, and I enjoy their chicken and their fries and cheddar cheese, really good. And the thing about Roosters, there's a lot in Ohio, and there's a lot throughout the state. In other states, I mean, it's a thing called restaurants. That's what it's being called nowadays, because I do agree, when I'm at this restaurant, most of the people that work there, it's young women, young adult women who are skinny, and they wear interesting tight clothing. But they're known as restaurants. And of course, we had Hooters back in the that came about in the 80s, 90s, and there's other such restaurants throughout other states in the region. It's the same thing, really hot women serving hot wings. I guess that's the theme. And it's controversial. I mean, some people just come for the food and don't think much of it. Some people are upset by it. I know probably a lot of women groups are upset. It objects women, puts them in a lower position of sorts. And I don't know. I mean, I don't think much of it. I don't think Roosters is too bad. I mean, about the women of what they wear, I mean, it's not too provocative. At least not the Roosters I typically go to. Maybe it's different in Michigan, but I mean, that's what most young women wear nowadays. They're wearing a shirt, and they are covered. It's not like they're naked. And they were all wearing pants, so there wasn't any short shorts going on here. They were all in pants. They're just attractive women. So anyway, I enjoy going there. And I got thinking, while Roosters plays off the new restaurants concept, I'm thinking, we need some more concepts in restaurants. Something that gets people going, gets their heart ticking. So I got some ideas here on my show, OhioIsOnFire. Hope you like them. But other types of restaurants that we need in this country. But first off, we need ninja rants. It's where you get attacked by ninjas before you order food. So, hiya! I want some French fries. Hiya! Karate. All right, so that's ninja rants, and then we got mime rants. Mimerants, I mean. Mimes work at these places. They don't talk to you. Like if you make an order, if you have to go to the bathroom, they give you hand signals. And their faces are painted. That's all they do. You can't understand them. They just, I can't do mime work on the radio because y'all can't see me at home, but imagine if you ordered a hamburger. It's like you grab the imaginable sandwich, the invisible sandwich, I mean, and you just bite on it, and that's how you order a hamburger to a mime. Alright, what else do we have? I got a bunch of them here. We got puppet rants, where Kermit and Miss Piggy, they greet you at the door. And other Muppets, they do other tasks. You got Oscar the Grouch, he sweeps the floor, and I think that's Sesame Street, but at my restaurant, the Muppets and Sesame Street, they merge. They're together as one big family. Yes, then we got, so since Sesame Street's there, Big Bird, he's the security. So if there's any fights, Big Bird comes in, and he just headbutts you with his big beak, and you're out of there. You're all knocked out. Alright, now we got drug deal runs. It's a type of restaurant where you get your fix, and then you order the main platter of munchies. Alright, it's 8:09 p.m., and I'm happy right now. Alright, now another idea I have is obese people in a health food place. Now imagine you go to a health food restaurant, and you see a lot of really heavy people there. I know nowadays people want their variety in all restaurants. I know health is a concern with people losing weight. I think a really good scare tactic to do that would be to go to a health restaurant, or I guess any restaurant, have the whole staff is heavy people, weigh 400 pounds. They can barely walk. You know, they come to you, I guess on a cane because they can't walk anymore. And that'll scare people to eat health food. So we need to have a scare tactic in these restaurants. Alright, I got a few more. DJ Tarants. That's right. Something for me and what I do for a living. Where your service is announced by radio personalities. Yes, I can do this. I announce your order. And Little Susan Johnson just ordered a hamburger with some French fries. And she got a side salad, which she'll put in a box when she gets home. And what other voices can I do? I think I can do. I'm gonna try a Casey Kasem impersonation. He died earlier this year. I think I can do his voice. And these hot dogs. When you eat these hot dogs, you reach for the stars and eat the hot dogs. Now, all right, my Casey Kasem needs work. Oh, well, I thought of something. Count down to the best hot dogs in America. At number 10, we got bratwurst. Number 9, we got the Frankfurter. Number 8, we got the German sausage. Number 7, we got Gold Star chili. Number 6, veggie dogs. Number 4, we got buffalo dipped hot dogs from Philadelphia. Number 3, pardon me. Number 3, we have stuffed chili cheese dogs from Minnesota. Number 2, we got Gold Star chili from Cincinnati. And folks, the number 1 hot dog of all time is from Boston, the Super Boston Footlong. Yay! All right, there you go. That's my Casey Kasem. I don't know if I have an audience. I'll get a round of applause, but I'm not sure about that. This is Ohio's on Fire. I am your host, Daniel Diesel. We are back. I played you some nice music just now. Just now I played Gary Lee Cummins in this cover of Yellow. Then Philly TF with Miami Vice. And just now 7 Levels with Genie of Sorrow. It's part of the Dim Weekly Showcase. Alright people, it's now time for everyone's favorite segment. It's now time for OMVP. Ohio's most valuable pedestrian. OMVP. In case you don't know, it's an award that gets given out most episodes. It's not really an award, but more like a shout out, a very elaborate shout out where someone from the state of Ohio, or a group of people from the state of Ohio, did something very interesting, did something weird in a good way, or did something heroic, and sometimes it's postpartum, and sometimes it is, and that's what it's going to be today, is a postpartum, posthumous OMVP. And what I do, I do broadcasting, and here in Dayton, Ohio, there's a lot of radio broadcasters. I think a handful in this Dayton area can call themselves a legend in the modern era, as in the 80s, 90s, and 00s. But name seven, Marshall Phillips was one of those legends of Dayton radio broadcasting, and he passed away recently. So I'm going to read this article about Marshall Phillips, because he died this past Sunday. This is from the Dayton Daily News, so I'm going to go ahead and read it. Longtime Dayton disc jockey Marshall B. Phillips was found dead in his Piqua apartment at 2:30 p.m. on Sunday, according to the Piqua police report. A neighbor told police he noticed the front door to Phillips' apartment at 1003 at his apartment at 6:30 p.m. on Friday. The neighbor went into the apartment Sunday, so this has been a few days this went on, but he went in Sunday and found the former night DJ for 104.7 WTUE dead on the couch. Police said Phillips, who was 58, was slouched in a sitting position. His body was in a state of decomposition, according to the report. Phillips was a popular WTUE DJ in the 80s and 90s and worked in sales for Clear Channel, which, by the way, they've changed their name to iHeartMedia, just so you know. Before WTUE, he worked at WAZU in Springfield as a Marshall Amplify worker. Friends and former co-workers expressed their sorrow Monday. Chris Geeson, former co-host of WTUE's Kerrigan and Christopher Morning Show, said he always enjoyed the time he spent with Phillips on and off the air. Marshall was a good friend and a Dayton radio icon. His unique voice filled Dayton radio airwaves at night, and his friendliness filled our hearts as well, Geeson said. He was a big part of my radio career, and he will remain in the hearts and minds of Dayton rock radio listeners for a long time. Miami County Coroner Steve Huffman ruled the death to be from natural causes, according to the police report. Phillips was survived by his sister Lisa Phillips. His father, Marshall A. Phillips, died on September 6, 2009, and his mother died December 10, 2006. Phillips' cat was found in the apartment and was euthanized by the Miami County Animal Shelter, according to the police report. Animal Control Officer Davey Hill said the cat was agitated by the commotion in the apartment and there was no relatives to take it. Phillips attended Ohio State University and Dayton's Meadowdale High School. Cale Atkins dated Phillips in the 1990s and remained friends. Phillips, whose birthday was September 30th, had struggled with liver and other health issues in recent years, she said. Atkins said she will always remember Phillips' velvet voice and smarts. He was always funny. He had the infectious laugh, Atkins said. He inspired people to be better. Miamisburg resident said being a DJ was Phillips' God-given talent, but his passion was politics. She called him the Democratic version of Family Ties character Alex P. Keaton. Phillips worked for Bill Clinton's presidential campaign and dreamed of working for the C-SPAN network. He was always looking out for the common person, but he always knew there was a business side, Atkins said. Politics was his life. He sat and watched C-SPAN every day. Current WTUE radio personality John B-Man called Phillips a cohort and friend during their days together at WTUE in the 80s and 90s. He fondly remembered Phillips as a charismatic, talented, and intelligent and fun epitome of the cool night radio guy. We loved the way he said WTUE, B-Man said. He's the one that taught me how to drink scotch. Alright. And then the guy, B-Boy's B-Man's last name is Bulu. Bulu said Phillips' death was causing him to reflect on life and old friendships. And he said, you think about giving someone a call and they are not there anymore, he said. That was a really touching last statement. That's true. You're just used to having someone be there and they're not there anymore. And yes, he is a true legend. I'm going to play a few clips here of Marshall Phillips. Now that's how you tell the weather. Now that's the greatest hits of Marshall Phillips. Really cool video. I found it at DaytonDailyNews.com. So yes, he was a true radio icon in what we do here in the Dayton, Ohio area. And he passed away. He seemed like a really good guy to be around. I never got a chance to meet him. So maybe I'll run into people who have stories of him one day. So with that, Marshall Phillips, Mr. Marshall Phillips, the great legendary voice of WTUE in the 80s and 90s. It's not really an award, but more like a great shout out. But you are OMVP of this episode. Yeah, so round of applause. The OMVP, round of applause.
To open an improv theater, so in 2011 I signed a lease, and in July of 2012 we opened our doors. So we've been open 2 years now.
Okay. Now, well, that's not been very long, but I've heard a lot of good things about it in that short period of time. But what's your as a performer, what's your favorite black box moment? What was your personal favorite?
I can answer one of these.
That's fine. Anyone can answer.
This is when I was still taking class. Justin and a couple other people were in a show, and it was a Christmas show. And the theme of the show, it came out that they were escape elves that were being stalked by Santa Claus.
Oh, no.
And the only way that Santa Claus could be stopped was by taking a candy cane through the heart.
Okay.
And there was one point where the two elves were hiding behind a couch, scared.
Yeah.
And they were feverishly licking these candy canes, trying to sharpen them. And just the visual and everything going into it at that point was just fantastic. It was just a really, really great moment.
We haven't topped that in 2 years for you?
No, I mean, it was just such a great moment, and I don't remember any of our shows because I'm on stage and I never remember any of that stuff.
Well, so can anyone top that? That sounds crazy.
Man, I don't know. Some of my favorite moments are like the one heckler we had that yelled "Do it" and "sexy" through an entire hour-long show. Like just every 30 seconds he would yell something. I thought that was...
Did he get kicked out of the theater?
No, I think he got the message at some point that nobody liked that, because I haven't seen him again, but he could be dead for all I know.
One of my favorite moments, I just thought of this, one of our shows, we started off by interviewing a member of the audience to get a little bit of a story and a background so that we can use that as inspiration. And we do that every Friday night, and this particular Friday night, this lady came on stage and started hitting on me while I was interviewing her.
Oh, yeah, the one
super hardcore.
Oh, this really happened, an audience member.
And she was with a guy.
She was with a guy, and we knew the guy because he had been a student for several weeks at that point.
Man, Andrea, turn it
And
off.
she was there on stage in front of not only these 30, 40, 50 people, I don't remember how many people were there, flirting with me, and the guy was sitting in the front row. It was really awkward.
It was weird.
Oh, wow.
But memorable.
That would be awkward. But womp, 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 womp. That's the sound effect I can think of when something bad happens. So anyway.
Do you have sound effects?
I think I do, but I don't know how to use it. I use it with my mouth, so... Uh-oh. I didn't just say that.
No, I think that's better. That's
Now, of all the television programs that's on TV right now, or whether it's HBO or there's a bunch of different things, what's your favorite show based on the acting skill that's on that show right now? Your favorite?
something on right now. Do you guys have anything?
God, I don't know. I don't watch anything current. Everything I watch is old and on Netflix.
I like the How It's Made guy. The narrator for How It's Made.
Is that on the internet?
It's on the internet. It's on the Science
History,
Channel.
yeah,
It's
science,
a Science Channel.
Okay.
And the way he describes what's being made on TV, like half the time, he just says something ridiculous that most people wouldn't catch. But if you kind of work in the industry, it's hilarious because
he'll work in the industry.
Kind of, yeah, more or less. I know when he's bullshit, bullcrapping.
It's okay. I got you. Go ahead.
You got to bleep it.
He did a thing with his mouth.
Do you bleep it out with your mouth?
No,
Yeah.
Wow.
We got buttons here at College Radio now, so it's okay. Go
Why is it
ahead.
so far down on the floor? Why didn't you put it up
Because it
closer?
just you gotta ask Patrick that. Well, actually, no, he didn't put it down. There was probably this station came about in like 1980s. So the guy that created this place in the 1980s, you gotta ask him.
You make it like a foot pedal.
And he's probably dead. So
You should hand your guests a controller so that they could just bleep themselves
themselves.
out.
Yeah.
oh, that's a good idea. We can make. I gotta tell Shannon that we can make
I
millions.
bleep myself.
That's my boss. So anyway, but go ahead, man. You're safe.
No, that's pretty much it. I was done at the cuss word.
Oh.
Is Parks and Rec still on?
It is.
Is it?
Well, I know it's in reruns. I think they're doing one more season. But
I'm a big Amy Poehler fan, so I think that might be one of my favorite current comedy shows right now.
okay, that's a good one.
Yeah.
I like any time I'm watching a show and they have anyone on there who's playing a character who has some kind of like mental, not necessarily like a mental disability, but somebody like Michael C. Hall playing Dexter, who's just kind of messed up in the head, and they really have to get into that, like where he was just so emotionless and he had to pretend to be an emotionless person pretending to have emotions. I love stuff like that. Like, I really respect when actors do things like that, because it just seems really difficult. Like, it seems really like a really difficult mindset to get in.
Okay, I'm not familiar with that show, but where can we find the show at?
Oh, Dexter. It's on Netflix. I think it was on HBO. Wasn't it on HBO?
There is no last season though. It's just so awful that you don't.
Oh yeah. I'm not gonna ruin it, but it's tough.
Oh,
Last season.
when you say you mean it's a bad last season? You think, or
I don't know. I was a real huge fan for like the first 3 seasons, and it was like a roller coaster. Then all of a sudden, I just got off.
oh, okay, yeah. Well, I'm not familiar with it, but it sounded like it was some dramatic. But okay, I might have to check into it sometime. I don't know, but now I gotta ask you. I know when you come up with your material, I know you guys probably watch hundreds of hours of entertainment like most people in America. When you do a performance, do you fear that you may have accidentally stole someone else's work, or did someone come up to you and say, "Hey, that's familiar to something I just saw on the internet recently"? What's the fear you have of copying someone's work?
Man, I really, since I've been doing so much improv, I don't watch anything. Like, I don't watch any real comedy. Occasionally, I'll catch a movie. I don't watch Saturday Night Live. I think that destroys a lot of people that a comedy person doesn't watch that. But so, man, I never even think about that. And I've never had a moment where I thought, I just repeated a line from a show or something.
I steal mostly from kids shows, so none of my peers really know that I'm parodying.
Oh,
Brilliant.
Right.
okay. Well,
Yeah, I think most of the stuff that'll come up in a show is like kind of pop culture references that we're really just kind of saying them to be recognized as pop culture. I mean, doing improv, we don't plan anything, so when we come out, if something comes out, it comes out. But I wouldn't say that there's you can't really plan the opportunities. Be like, oh man, I saw this joke this week and I'm totally using this, because you'll probably not get the opportunity to use it.
yeah, because I heard Carlos Mencino, he was big for a while and he got in big trouble for that. So I think in the comedy world, it seems like a big deal to blatantly steal other material.
We have an advantage too, is that either we interview somebody from the audience or we take some sort of inspiration there, and then we work off of whatever we develop together. So we're not necessarily, we don't do a lot of comedy that's a Game of Thrones parody. We're creating our own situational comedy on the fly, which doesn't really give us time to like.
And it's funny, it's in its own context. It's not even.
So if you weren't there, it's not going to be funny.
Yeah.
And that's to our advantage, Like,
Right.
It's a moment we create.
Every show will never ever be seen again. So,
That's why I love it.
yeah.
Wow. All right, now I got to ask you guys talked about films. What's your favorite comedy film of all time?
Mine is Elf. The Will Ferrell.
Oh, yeah, I've seen
Christmas-
that.
Yeah, that's probably my favorite because he's so
That is funny,
genuine.
yes.
He's like a kid giant like elf kid thing.
I really like Forgetting Sarah Marshall. There was a lot of awkward moments in there, and I think it was in a period where movies were just starting to do that, I think, and comedy trying to mimic reality a little bit more versus maybe the Wedding Crashers of period of comedy. So seeing that really inspired me. I'm like, wow, that's real. That's awkward.
I never got past like the first 10 minutes of Wedding Crashers. And if you've seen Wedding Crashers, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
The montage, basically.
Yeah.
All right.
What about you, Mike?
No, Wedding Singer is probably my favorite. I like Adam Sandler for better or for worse, and I just absolutely love The Wedding Singer. Like I think the humor and the dialogue in it is great. Just always been a really big fan of it since I got it. I think it's the only movie I've ever bought on VHS, DVD, and Blu-ray.
All right.
The
That's a good
only
one.
movie that's ever been able to be
Might
on
be.
VHS, DVD, and Blu-ray.
All right, I got one more question before we go to a music break. If you had a time machine and you can go back in time and do anything you wanted, what would you do and why?
That's deep.
That is deep.
Do we have one time machine? We were talking about this.
Yeah.
Any time machine you want, either
Like
it's
we each have a time
yeah,
machine?
you each have a time machine,
So we don't have to agree on it?
Sure,
We would
yeah.
probably mess with each other. Like I would go back and,
And undo
like
the
beat up
thing.
Justin as a boy in school and ruin his childhood.
I'd go back to immediately
Too
before
late.
wherever Justin went back and just kick him in the nuts as soon as he appeared.
I'd probably go back and rent the same theater that Justin rented right before him and call it the really dark gray box.
Oh man, we're gonna screw Justin.
Yeah, let's do that to Justin. Justin,
Oh, I love it.
Justin's not dumb enough to be the first one to go back in time. FYI. I'm going to wait.
How can you be the first one? Even
The
if
first
you went back in
person-
time before us, we could
That's
go
like
back
the first
before
person
you.
that falls asleep.
No, it's.
I mean, time travel doesn't make sense.
us with
You do
Sharpies?
He says we can only go back in time for one thing.
I think the rules should be changed so it's like a white elephant thing where the first person
Can steal.
can steal. Exactly.
Okay. Can you
That's-
reword that question for the next group? Where
Sure.
there's like a white elephant element of it where... Because if you're the first person, you need to have like kind of the ultimate ability. I mean, maybe some other people would do things to help the world, but for people like us,
We
I
need
feel
those
like
rules.
we would need better
Yeah,
rules.
I'm just gonna end up making someone mad.
Yeah.
Well, that's fine. Yeah, I guess it can be. But you say white elephant rule. Would it be like rock paper scissors, like a game to determine who's got the most power? What does that mean?
Yeah, have you ever done like white elephant at Christmas?
No, I haven't.
Okay, well, it'll change your world, so make sure you do it this Christmas with someone. But like, basically what happens is the first person picks a gift, they unwrap it, and then the next person can either steal their gift or pick a new gift. And then when they're all done, the first person gets to go back and steal one last time. So that
Okay.
kind of like keeps it from being unfair. Yeah. So
Okay.
I think that the time travel question is
Well, I got it on.
component.
Well, I got that on tape, so I'll discuss that with my family. The white elephant rule.
Just bring it up.
All right, I will do that. And we are back with Ohio's on Fire. I am your host, Daniel Diesel, and I'm here once again with Black Box Comedy from Dayton, Ohio. And we're going to do a fun activity on the air. And our friend here, Justin Howard, he came up with an idea, so he's going to explain it, and it involves me somehow. So go ahead and explain, Justin.
All right, so this is a little bit similar to what we do every Friday and Saturday at our theater, which, by the way, is at 518 East 3rd Street in downtown Dayton in the Cannery Building. So every Friday and Saturday at 8 p.m. and then again at 9:30, we have shows. $7 for the 8 o'clock, $5 for the 9:30, or $10 to stay for both, and it's BYOB. So it's super cheap and super fun. So what we do is we'll get some information from an audience member. They'll tell us a little bit about something in their life. And then what we'll do is we'll come up with kind of a fun spin on that. So what we're going to do is just ask you for like a memorable moment. Just kind of tell us a brief story, and then what we'll do is we'll just jump in and we'll all four kind of have characters, and I guess we'll just do it radio style since you can't see us at all. But does that sound all right?
That's fine by me, man, and I'm excited.
What's your story? What's something fun that has happened in your life recently that sticks out to you?
All right. Well, back in April this year, there was an event called Gym City Comic Con. It's a convention of great comic book artists and people that made movies over the years, and I went to it. One of my favorite cartoons and comics growing up was the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and Kevin Eastman, the creator, he was there this year, and he was hosting his own panel. And the thing is, you had to have a special ticket. It didn't cost any more money, but you had to go get a ticket, a line somewhere to get in. And I did have some dramatics, because I went to the table and found all the tickets were all gone. And of course, I went there with several of my friends. We have a group called the Comic Book League. And I really wanted to see Kevin Eastman, so he had exclusive stories about my Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And I did eventually get a ticket, but it was a lady who got one decided she didn't want to go. So that's what happened. That was a memorable time in my life. So me and Kevin Eastman, he created the Turtles at the comic book convention here at the Nutter. It was at the Nutter Center. All right.
I'm looking for 3. Can I have, anybody got 3 tickets for Kevin Eastman? Looking for 3. 3 tickets. Kevin Eastman, I'm looking for 3.
I got 2. I got
half a ticket.
Maybe one of your friends can only. If you compare those, maybe.
Are you guys not familiar with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and the glory that was the 80s and their show? It was an animated show.
Not following you.
No, not really.
Guys, this is teenage. There were 4 turtles and they had different color, like they had different color headbands, and so
Is
that's
this like a music band? Is that what?
Yeah.
It's a musical.
if kung fu is music.
Wait a minute. Wait. You're talking about turtles with headbands and kung fu? That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Guys, come on. Come on.
How much for the half a ticket?
I don't even. I have 3 friends that I want to get in to see Kevin. Kevin Eastman's the guy that made it, and
Kevin Bacon?
yeah,
Oh yeah, I know that guy. He's
No,
great.
Footloose,
No,
great
okay.
80s.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
it's not Kevin. It's Kevin Eastman. He's really well known in the world of like Comic Con and stuff. It's Kevin Eastman.
No.
One of your friends short, they could use the half a ticket.
Yeah.
One of my friends is short, but that I don't think that you can use a half a ticket. I need
Well,
3
you
whole
don't know for a fact that you can't use a half a ticket for it.
Yeah. Why are you shooting him down already? Don't
Okay.
shoot him.
Don't
down.
waste a half a ticket. Just
Don't
'cause
waste
you're-
my half a ticket.
I'll take a half. I'll take a half. I just don't think I could use it for.
Maybe one of your friends only gets to stand outside. You know what I mean?
Well,
Like he only
one of
gets
my
kind of
friends
close.
is currently standing outside. We're all standing outside.
No, I mean like he gets halfway to Kevin Bacon.
No, there's no Kevin.
Do you have any
Bacon.
friends that are veterans?
No. Is that? Do you get?
There's a discount.
Is
for
there a
tickets.
discount?
So if
There's
you have a half a
like,
ticket, you
half
might
ticket,
be able to.
half price. None of us. We only imagine battle, and we live it through the eyes of the Ninja Turtles. But we would never actually engage in that ourselves.
I don't think getting kicked by a turtle would hurt very bad. I mean, they're pretty small.
They're really big. They're like.
Are they water turtles or
I just
land
don't
Oh
get it.
yeah, those are big.
No, they have human feet and human. Well, they got
They're
like 3
super slow.
fingers.
With fingers?
Well, like 3 of them. It's important because they use nunchucks.
What kind of? Are we talking
Nunchucks.
about like box turtles? Or are we talking about like red ear sliders with big claws or something? I mean, that makes a big difference.
Yeah, they're not. They're mutants.
They
So
can't speak?
they do speak, and they're radical, and they use a lot of like beach lingo.
You don't know what kind they are. It's like you don't even. You want to meet this? He wants to meet this guy. You don't even
Well,
know
these are
anything
some
about
of the
the
questions.
turtles,
These are
right?
some of the questions that Kevin Eastman can answer for
I
me.
love Kevin Bacon.
No, no, this is not. It's not Kevin. Guys, what? Why are you even at this Comic Con?
If you were a super fan, I feel like you would have gotten here early enough to get tickets.
I tried to. You guys were in line.
I thought it was for the
Where
iPhone.
were you? Did you sleep in? You at
No.
Starbucks? Where were you?
No, I got in a conversation with She-Woman.
Women.
She-Woman
that
and Wonder
redundant?
Woman, huh?
Why is it she woman? Why isn't it just she or woman?
Because it was during a time where women weren't as well respected, so she didn't get her own name.
A week
There was-
ago?
He-Man, do you guys not know? Do you know anything? What, you guys just stood in a line.
We're janitors here, but
You're a
Take it.
janitor and you got... No,
Yeah, we actually get these at a discount, which is nice.
Yeah, I found a half a ticket in the garbage.
I'm going to put a blue sash on my head.
See,
And I'm gonna walk out of here, and I'm gonna have 2 katanas, okay?
That's a made-up word.
No, that's not.
No,
it's
no,
made
that's-
up by
that's
the
girl from Mortal
Japanese.
Kombat, like you were talking about
No,
earlier.
it's not. It's not Mortal Kombat. It's the Ninja Turtles.
is that a Mexican dish?
No, no, it's Japanese. It's somewhere in Asia. Someone makes. There's like a slight curve to the blade. and I'm going to come out with katanas, and it's all over, okay? And then you guys are Bacon, all right? You guys are Kevin Bacon. You're going to be so used up.
That sounds nice.
No,
That
it
sounds
doesn't.
nice,
No,
doesn't it?
what I'm
Guy.
describing
This
is
guy's awesome.
furious, and it's
Kevin Bacon's never had a furious day in his life.
Kevin Bacon was in a movie where he was on like Rapids, and it was a B movie.
Oh,
And
yeah.
that was probably a terrible time in his life. Okay, guys, so
We don't talk
let's
about
not.
that movie.
Huh?
We don't talk about that part of his life.
I don't talk about Kevin Bacon at all because I talk about Kevin Eastman.
Whoa. Whoa. And putting on weird masks and going into the street with a large size or whatever it
Right,
is. And
with
you sit,
ooze.
yeah, ooze. And you're going to sit here and turn around and call us crazy. Give me my tickets back. I want my tickets back. I'm going to go in
He
there.
was the bad guy in the X-Men movie, too. Kevin Bacon. Remember?
No, he was. Okay, he was, yeah. So
Yeah, I'm just thinking of all the great flicks that guy's, man, you could see him if only you would give in to this autograph
no,
request.
he's not. It's Kevin Eastman. He is not in there.
What about the one where you could see the dead people? That was fantastic. That's all I got out of me.
No, that was a little. Wasn't that a little boy?
Yeah, that was Samuel Jackson.
Him and that guy.
No, that wasn't.
Him and that guy from It's Always Sunny, Mac. Like he was in that movie, wasn't he?
No, guys, it doesn't matter. I'm here for the Ninja Turtles. That's why I'm wearing this, and that's.
I'm just trying to finish my beer before I get back on the clock, man. And you're haggling me for a half a ticket.
Hey, all honesty, I don't want your half ticket. So,
What about your other friend? Is he just going to stand outside? It's kind of
my,
rude.
my other friend has. Do you see him anywhere? Because at this point, he left.
No, I honestly
So
I
you
don't
only
see
need the
anybody
one
here
ticket at this point.
around you.
At this point, if I got the one ticket, I would get in there to watch everyone leaving. So, at this point, really, I'm more interested in coming out with katanas and finishing this conversation.
You're more
a
interested in
way-
coming out with multicolored headbands.
No,
Yeah.
it's you guys don't understand the impact of the Ninja Turtles.
Sounds made up.
Still
Sounds made up
think
to me.
that's not a thing.
Right.
I hate you guys. All right, and see.
Scene, all right, hey. I'm gonna try to clap, all right, yay. That was amazing. It's time for my final message. I want to talk about willpower. I want to talk about willpower because, first off, I want to talk about Robert Downey Jr. He's probably one of the biggest actors in the entertainment world today. And this past weekend, something cool that he did, he was in Dayton, Ohio. He was at the Wright Patterson Air Force Base in Dayton, Ohio, to talk about he wanted to graduate all the good work that the servicemen have done. And of course, he was promoting his movie, The Judge, because it was kind of like a cross-promotional thing, because I guess the people of the Army, they're in. It's similar to, I guess, according to the movie The Judge. I haven't seen it. I mean, it's going to come out eventually. It sounds really serious, a serious, dramatic movie, and I think a portion of that movie, like the proceeds, are going to help servicemen across the country. I think that's part of it also. Robert Downey Jr., he came to Dayton, Ohio this past weekend. And people just loved him. Like, I saw a news clip when he came out, and they was like, yeah, Robert Downey Jr. is a man. He just looks great. And children loved him. I mean, he's just a hero. And the thing is, if I told you, I guess 10 years ago, that Robert Downey Jr. was going to be a hero to all people in the entertainment business, you'd probably think it was the funniest joke of all time. It would be fit for a black box improv comedy skit. Because he was a mess. He had a serious drug problem. He was out of work. He was overweight. I think he lost most of his friends. And he made a comeback. He's made probably the greatest comeback of all time. He just looks great. You wouldn't know he ever had a drug problem. In fact, what he's done in his career, post drug issues, it's probably the greatest work he's done in all of his career. Because he first became a star in the late '80s. I knew he was a cast member of NSL, Saturday Night Live, and then he did some quirky '80s movies, a few movies in the '90s, and that's when he got deep into alcohol and drugs, and it derailed him for the longest time. Like that reality in the '90s, like you thought he was just going to be that guy. People thought he was going to be the next River Phoenix. He was going to die young. He blew his talent on drugs and a bunch of stupid crap. He was homeless. He was at the bottom. You get the picture. He was bottom of the barrel. So what caused Robert Downey Jr. to be the hero that he is now, to live the clean lifestyle, to be the superstar that he has became? Willpower. That's all it is. It's personal willpower. You have to want something for yourself, even when no one else seems to be on your side anymore. I think Robert Downey Jr. faced that at one point. I imagine when he was doing all that stuff to himself, he had very little to live for. He probably had doubts on how he was going to live his life. He probably didn't care if he lived or died. And then I guess he had a breakthrough. I'm not quite sure what the initial breakthrough was that caused him to do that, but I'm happy he did. I mean, I just like watching him on screen. I like his Iron Man portrayal, which, by the way, he just revealed on Ellen that he is doing an Iron Man 4. He's going to be in the Avengers 2 as Iron Man, and he's going to be in Iron Man 4. So he's keeping on making that big money, being Iron Man, being the major star he is now. It's amazing, and it's proof that if you can be so far down the bottom, like he was, just have that willpower and you can do it. And that's tough for me sometimes. It's hard for me to find willpower because I lack confidence. Just a lot of things I do, like I have happy thoughts at first, like I'll get this big bright light bulb idea, and then I fear the worst. I fear people will shoot me down. I fear people will bring up to me all the bad things that'll happen. I gotta dive headfirst into my fears. I can't run away from my fears anymore. I just gotta dive headfirst like a raging bull. So I gotta believe in my heart that DimCon 2014 is gonna be a successful event for me. And that's not all in my life. You know, I always worry about my future. If I'm gonna be alone for the rest of my life. Because I do fear being lonely. I don't know what I can do to make myself not lonely anymore. I'm not quite sure. I used to think I knew. But college is a big world. You just, people have their own cliques in college. And sometimes it gets really lonely sometimes. When you're at Wright State University or any other college. You get lonely, really. It's surprising because people think with all these people, all these groups, activities, you can be lonely, but that's not true at all. Because people have their own agenda, people have their own dreams, and I understand that. But there's people that have willpower to be and that leads into confidence. When you have willpower, you have confidence. Some of the most charismatic people in the world. You know, Will Smith. Who else is charismatic? I'm thinking a lot of musicians. I guess he's rock. Aerosmith. Yes, Aerosmith. They got a lot of charisma. They've always been confident in their music. That's why I've been big rock stars for over 30 years. They just know what to do next. They stay in front of the tide so they don't become has-beens. It's that ick factor. Just anyone can have talent, all the talent in the world, but it comes from within, your willpower. You have to want to do it. Someone tells you have to do this, you have to do that. None of that matters if you don't want to do it yourself. You have to want to do it. Robert Downey Jr., he wanted to quit doing drugs. He decided he had enough, and he got himself clean, be the biggest star in the world. And I know you out there at home, you have to want to do it. Don't even listen to anybody. Don't listen to what your father has to tell you, your mother, your brother, sister, even your best BFF. If you're a young adult, you know what you want. You have to want to do it. And also, I got to believe that Ohio's on Fire can always be a better show, because this is my baby. I've been doing this for close to 7 years, and I had another good show tonight. I feel like I haven't boiled over yet. Like, there's this thing on the internet called blowing up, and I haven't done that yet. I haven't blown up yet. I've had little successes here and there, and I don't know when that's going to happen, because I want this show to be as good as it can. I mean, I don't want to have empty seats. I don't want to have no one at home listening to me, because that's the worst of all. I mean, you might as well be everything I say might as well be in secret if no one was watching. So I got to believe that Ohio's on Fire will blow up the way I want it to, and I'll have the career that I want, and that I'm good enough for some nice young lady out there. A lot of nice little women out there, really something. There's a right one for me, and I got to believe. I got to keep on believing. I have to want to do it. I want that lady in my life. Robert Wright Jr., he wants to quit doing drugs. All of you that are on drugs, doing beer and drugs, that's killing yourselves, you have to want to quit and live a new life, start a new chapter. You owe it to yourself. You owe it to yourself and to the ones that care about you the most. So with that, until next Tuesday when I'm live once again, Ohio, that's the way it is. Warning. This episode of Ohio is on Fire contains strong opinions and viewpoints that belong to the host and guests that appear on Ohio is on Fire. This show contains entertainment and honesty that reaches extreme levels. Please do not try this at home.
Tyrants did it. Hitler took the guns. Stalin took the guns. Mao took the guns. Fidel Castro took the guns. Hugo Chavez took the guns. And I'm here to tell you, 1776 will commence again if you try to take our firearms.
My name is Elizabeth Holford, and I'm the Executive Director at Equality Ohio.
I have a First Amendment.
Equality Ohio.
These officers want me to leave this position just because you got cameras.
Equality Ohio.
Can you believe it?
Witnesses say during a heated confrontation, a healthcare reform opponent had his pinky finger bitten off when he stuck it in a healthcare reform supporter's face. Police say the 65-year-old man picked up his finger and drove himself to Los Robles Hospital, where they're now trying to reattach it. Police tonight are searching for the biter who ran from the scene.
Enough! Silence! I can't take no more.
Fire! 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 Fire!
Let's just talk. Listen, I'm sorry. You're highly professional at what you do. You get here and